The med bay of the wrecked star cruiser was eerily quiet, lit only by the soft pulse of containment shields. Among the shattered equipment and scattered debris lay a single stasis pod, its surface etched with runes Elias couldn't read. Inside, bathed in soft blue light, was a woman. Or at least, she looked like one, taller than any human, her skin a deep iridescent bronze, her hair a cascade of silver threads, and her armor a mix of metal and living tissue. He'd found her after following a faint distress signal through the asteroid belt. The ship was long dead, its crew gone or scattered, but the pod had power, enough to keep her in some kind of suspended animation. He didn't know why, but something about her presence drew him in. She looked fierce even in sleep, as though she could rise at any second and tear him apart. Her lips were parted slightly, and a strange thought crept into his mind. What would happen if? It was ridiculous, reckless. He'd never been the type to take stupid risks, but the silence of the dead ship made him feel like he was outside the rules. So, leaning down, he pressed a quick kiss to her lips. The reaction was immediate. The blue glow of the pod flared red, and her eyes snapped open, molten gold, pupils thin and sharp as blades. In a heartbeat, the pod shattered, and she rose, her armor reforming around her in an instant. Her voice was low, dangerous. "Who dares?" Elias stumbled back. I thought you were." "Dead?" She cut in, stepping forward. "We do not die so easily. Only two things wake my kind from deep sleep." She was close enough now for him to see the faint heat radiating from her skin. Either challenge or mate. He swallowed hard. "Which one am I?" "That," she said with predator's smile, "depends on how well you run." He bolted. The corridors of the derelict ship echoed with his footsteps, the sound of haze close behind. Faster, heavier, yet eerily silent when she chose. The stasis had not weakened her. If anything, she seemed sharper, hungrier. In a cargo bay, he grabbed a length of pipe and swung as she approached. She caught it in one hand, twisted it from his grip, and tossed it aside as though it weighed nothing. "Not a fighter," she mused. "That means—" Before he could react, she had him pinned against the wall, her hands on either side of his head. "You woke me. You chose this." "I didn't know the rules," he protested. "Your ignorance is not my concern," she said, though there was an odd glimmer in her eyes. "Among my people, a kiss is a claim. It can mean blood or binding." Elias forced a laugh. "So, what happens if I just say sorry and leave?" Her smile widened, and not in a comforting way. "Then I hunt you, until the stars themselves burn out." He stared at her, trying to read whether she was serious. Her eyes didn't blink. "Right," he said slowly. "Binding it is, then." That caught her off guard. "You choose to stay?" she asked, as though the thought hadn't occurred to her. "Well, my other option's getting hunted forever by someone who can punch through bulkhead doors," he said. "I'll take my chances here." She stepped back, studying him. "You are strange, human. Most would run." "Yeah, but I'm not most." Something in her expression softened. Not much, but enough for him to notice. "Very well. You will remain with me until the debt is fulfilled." The days that followed were tense but oddly fascinating. She told him her name was Kara, a warrior of the Vaethari, a species bred for war, conquest, and survival in the harshest corners of the galaxy. Her stasis sleep had been self-imposed after a battle she could not win, a way to deny her enemies the victory of her death. "You woke me before my vow was complete," she said one night, as they sat in the dimly lit galley of his small ship. "So now, my vow extends to you." "Vow for what?" he asked. "To protect what is mine." Elias wasn't sure if mine meant in the romantic sense or the property sense, but he noticed the way she watched him when she thought he wasn't looking, assessing, calculating. When a pirate vessel intercepted them near the Lyri cluster, she didn't hesitate. Kara tore through their boarding party with brutal efficiency, her movements fluid and deadly. After the fight, standing among the wreckage, she looked at him and said simply, "You're still alive because you kissed me. Remember that." Weeks passed, and the tension between them changed. The edge of danger was still there, but now it came with shared glances, quieter conversations, and the unspoken acknowledgement that something was shifting. One night, as they approached a trade hub, she said. "When my people sleep again, it will be for 1,000 years." "And you?" he asked. "I will not sleep again until my mate dies." He hesitated. "So, that means—" "It means you had better not die easily. Human," she said with a rare, genuine smile. Somewhere between fear and fascination, Elias, realizing, no longer thought of her as a threat. She was still dangerous, always dangerous, but she was also the reason he'd started to look forward to tomorrow. And deep down, he knew he'd never regret that reckless kiss.